What is
The BamaInsider Tailgate Show is on the air. Alabama football is rolling, and we got you covered with a breakdown of the game matchup, an SEC preview, and all the fun of an afternoon on the quad. With Rivals Bama Insider Managing Editor Kyle Henderson and former Crimson Tide Sports Network broadcaster and SEC Network play-by-play voice Mick Gillispie. The BamaInsider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Pearl River Resort Casino and Hotel in Choctaw, Mississippi. Let's play. Bama Buggy, best price, best selection, best service. Tuscaloosa Hyundai. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like. Rounders on the Strip, Vegas-style bar with the best rooftop in Tuscaloosa. Allstate agent Andrew Knifer. You're in good hands with Allstate. Innisfree, an Alabama Irish pub tradition. Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports. Not too small, not too big. Tuscaloosa is pronounced just right. NewLifeArt.com, publisher of fine art editions by Daniel A. Moore. SKREWBALL, the original peanut butter whiskey. R&R Cigar in downtown Tuscaloosa, home of the Victory Cigar.
Also brought to you by Hotel Indigo, Tuscaloosa's amazing upscale boutique lodging in downtown. The Floor Bama, world-famous beach bar and lounge in Orange Beach. Commercial banker Jay Weber with Service First Bank Fairhope.
And now, here are Kyle and Mick.
What do you say, everybody? Welcome to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Our show's presented by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. And for the next 2 hours, we're going to preview Alabama and Kentucky at Bryant-Denny Stadium, 3 o'clock kickoff. On the show, we've got Leonard Sluicer. We got Lance Taylor from Jox Radio with Lance's Lock. We got Tom Hart from the SEC Network. He's the play-by-play voice on television for Bama and Kentucky. And we're going to try to help you plan out your own tailgates. We've got SKREWBALL peanut butter whiskey here. We're going to do a shot of that as we talk to you tonight. Cigars with Reagan and much more. I'm Mick Gillispie, teaming up with one of the best in the business, my main man, Kyle Henderson. Kyle is the managing editor of the Alabama rival site, Bama Insider. He's an expert on the Crimson Tide. We'll have best-selling author and recruiting expert Andrew Bone. But we are talking to you, well, I'm at Rounders on the Strip here in Tuscaloosa. And then Kyle, he's back at his studio. Alabama #1 versus Kentucky. Alabama looking to start 7-0. And Kyle, man, I know it's a mouthful right there. It's been 3 weeks since we played football. Thank God we're playing some football.
Yeah, you know, it's. We couldn't wait to get to this point. I think we were all amped up for that game against LSU, and you know, things kind of falling through, and then getting to this point, I think we just want to get college football. We just want to get back to Alabama football. And this week going against Kentucky as a 31-point favorite, we're going to get football. I'll be curious to see how Alabama comes out of the gate, what type of rhythm that they have, because, you know, this has been a long period with no football. I mean, it's not a bowl season. It's 3 weeks during the regular season, and Nick Saban talked about that during the week, is finding that rhythm and getting back to that feel. And I think it goes for the fans as well. We all want college football, and, you know, we're finally going to get that this Saturday with Alabama and Kentucky. And as I said, Alabama, a 31-point favorite.
Well, look, Kyle, I got to tell you, man, our show is live from Rounders here in Tuscaloosa on the Strip. Yeah, that's where all the action is. Now, it's a little bit slow because of COVID. Our show remote's brought to you by SKREWBALL, the original peanut butter whiskey. We're going to do a shot of SKREWBALL. We got some swag from SKREWBALL. Look at that right there, shot glass. We're going to be, hanging out. We gave out some T-shirts, some stickers. People seem to love the SKREWBALL, man. And I was late to the party, but I wasn't at your friends, your friend's giving party. But apparently, people like the SKREWBALL there as well.
Yeah, I mean the SKREWBALL was a big hit. I mean, anytime that you had the peanut butter whiskey, it was my first time, and it was a fan favorite, definitely.
6 to 8 Friday nights. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is live on the YouTube channel. The YouTube channel's been great, guys. If you're watching right now, thumbs up, subscribe to the channel. We've been killing it, and it's because of you. You guys have made this channel popular. You've made this show popular, and we appreciate it. Our show's on 9 to 11 a.m. on every game day. in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa on Jox 2, that powerhouse flame-throwing radio station, 100.5. And the podcast is always available at 8:30 on Friday nights, Bama Insider. We got a lot of other great podcasts on there as well. So we invite you to just be a part of the show, man. This is all about you guys. It's about Alabama football, getting you ready for kickoff. And it just takes so many people to put this together. And with that said, 2 weeks off, 3 weeks total since Alabama's played. But it's time to get back out there and do a little bit of football. Kyle, will Alabama's offense be rusty?
I think, I don't think so. I mean, what Mac Jones has been able to do this season has been fantastic. And, he's been playing so poised. I mean, he's been 78% passing. I think, anytime you're a Heisman Trophy favorite, you have that rhythm, you have that consistency. And I think that he'll continue to do his thing against Kentucky. I think you're gonna see Alabama go for some style points. And, I'm curious to see what Alabama does. And I'm curious to see which wide receiver steps up along with Devontae Smith. Will it be John Mechie? Will we see some Slade Bolden, some Javon Baker? So I guess we'll have to see what's in store for Alabama's offense, but I don't think they're going to be stepping back.
So last week, Alabama was supposed to play LSU, right? And then the Tigers had issues with COVID, contact tracing. The game got postponed. We heard reports that they were going to reschedule it. What's the latest on that information? Do you think this game's going to be canceled, or do you think they're going to play this thing?
I mean, I had been hearing that the game was going to be played at some point. I'm not that confident anymore. I think, that game with Alabama and LSU still up in the air. I don't think it's officially canceled, but I think that's kind of trending that direction right now. I was a lot more confident probably, a week ago, but the SEC has time to, put that game into play or to cancel that game. So we still haven't heard an official word, but I think we're starting to trend towards the cancel portion.
Yeah, that's bad news. I really hope Alabama plays, although it might be nice to have a week off, figuring that they'll play for that SEC championship, most likely against Florida. Jalen Waddle got the cast off, so that's good. Remember, he broke his ankle in the game against Tennessee, with the first play, really. Do you think that there's a chance that he comes back and plays this year?
No. I mean, we talked about that before, and I think when a player breaks his ankle, it's not like you're breaking your hip. It's not it's not going to be like a Tua Tagovailoa type injury. I think that you're going to have Jalen Waddle potentially come back at some point close to those playoffs. And the way Alabama is playing right now, they're going to be in those playoffs. Could you imagine if the playoffs even get pushed back? Nick Saban recently said that Jalen Waddle came up to him and said that. He wants to come back and play. I think you just have to be patient. And if he does come back, all the benefit for Alabama. I mean, this is the most explosive player in all of college football. And Alabama has something that, a lot of places do not have. And that is, the quality facilities, the new strength and the new science complex. Dr. Matt Ray, all these guys working with Jalen Waddle to get him back up to speed. I think it's definitely a possibility. We've seen guys in the past come back from what would be season-long injuries. So I guess we'll just have to wait and see. No need to, completely rush it if he's not there, because this guy's going to be a multi-millionaire in the NFL. If he does come back, all the better for the Alabama Crimson Tide.
He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillispie. Trey Yannity hitting the switches for us tonight. Talking to you live from Rounders on the Strip in Tuscaloosa. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We're with you every game day when Alabama plays football, so it's great to see that this is 7 games in a season that some people didn't think was going to happen. There were games canceled because of COVID, but we're playing football, and that's great. All right, so you made a good point about Waddle, and you said, he's going to, make a lot of money in the NFL, and you talked about Alabama's facilities, Kyle. Let me just remind you about this guy, Mac Jones, okay? He's the starting quarterback for Alabama, right? And he has come out of nowhere to put himself right in the Heisman Trophy mix. But what a lot of people might not know, although on our channel here, everybody knows, he was committed to play football at Kentucky.
Yeah.
And instead, he came to Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, right. He absolutely was. I mean, he was committed to Kentucky. This was a long time ago when he probably weighed 170 pounds or whatever. I mean, recently he's 230 pounds. So a lot of transformation. And I think if he's at Kentucky, he's still successful, but he's not as successful as, he is at Alabama. I think, the biggest takeaway with Mac Jones is he's a guy who stayed in the process. He played behind Jalen Hurts. He played behind Tua Tagovailoa. And now you're starting to see him, get his opportunity. He's only a redshirt junior. I mean, he's already a graduate of the University of Alabama. So I know a lot of people, want to talk about him leaving Alabama and going to the NFL. I think he's one of the top 5 quarterbacks off the board, but he's not, 100% gone. And I know that's hard for people to wrap their head around. If Mac Jones wanted to come back, he absolutely could. I personally don't think he will. I think he'll continue this strong play, and we'll be seeing him playing on Sundays. I know I'd love him to be on my NFL team. But Mac Jones, I mean, what he's done, from, his verbal to Kentucky and now to see him at Alabama, it's been a tremendous growth. And the kid is fantastic. I don't know if everyone saw the story about when Mac Jones distributed the football to the young lady who was in a car accident just recently. I mean, a fantastic story. So not only is he doing the right things on the field, he's also doing the right things off the field. And that's quality, because you want those type of mentors for the youth coming up and for everybody to emulate themselves like Mac Jones, I think would be very, very positive thing to do. He's just demonstrating himself in all the right ways.
Yeah, good people right here. Guys, we got some calendars from New Life Art. We're going to give those away tonight. This is the 2021 New Life Art Daniel Moore calendar. It's paintings from the Saban era from 2007 to 2020, and those are going to go to those of you that watch the show and you come by and say, Roll Tide, I'm going to throw one your way for free. The Bama Insider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Pearl River Resort and Casino in Choctaw, Mississippi. Now's a great time to make your picks count at the Timeout Sports Lounge and Sportsbook. Later on in the show, we'll have Lance Taylor on to talk about his picks. We're going to have Ryan Griffin, who is the marketing director for Pearl River, join us later on in the show. Mike Stoops brings Kentucky to Tuscaloosa. They're tough. They're gritty. They're a defensive team. They're coming off of a 38-35 win over Vandy. They're now 3-4 on the season. And when we come back, we're going to talk to Justin Rowland from Cats Illustrated about that's the Kentucky rival site guy. We're going to talk about the Cats and Alabama. Stay tuned. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming up.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Genesis of Tuscaloosa, Alabama's first Genesis dealer, is a proud sponsor of Crimson Tide football and pleased to announce another first, the all-new 2021 GV80, the newest luxury SUV from Genesis, arriving soon. Be first to call and reserve your spot to experience the new standard of luxury in Tuscaloosa, the all-new 2021 Genesis GV80. See our full luxury lineup at Genesis of Tuscaloosa, the corner of Skyland and Hargrove, genesisoftuscaloosa.com.
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide. Always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of Alabama's largest volume power sports dealers, featuring the brands you love. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. The best seats in the outdoors on sale now. Bama Buggies on Skyland Boulevard East. BamaBuggies.com. Price plus tax. Discount off MSRP includes all manufacturer incentives, dealer discounts, and freight while supplies last. See dealer for details. Expires in a month.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
The Floribama Beach Bar is open at full capacity with no COVID restrictions. It's time to slip on back to Orange Beach for multiple stages of live music daily, free bingo Monday through Friday, and football watching all season long on tons of TVs. There's never been a better time to enjoy sunsets from the beachfront bars with a famous bushwhacker. Floribama is one of the top beach bars in the world, and under Florida guidelines has no COVID restrictions. Planning on a bachelor or bachelorette party? Then come do it on the line. Find out more at florbama.com.
It's time to get back to the great outdoors, to making memories, to feeling like yourself again. The world may have slowed down, but here in Sevierville, Tennessee, we know that just means there's more time to enjoy it all. It's time to get back to the Smoky Mountains. And when getting there brings you back, you know you're in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here. Learn more about traveling safely at visitsevierville.com.
Today's Game Story segment is brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Alabama landed Mac Jones after a commitment to Kentucky. Justin Rowland from Cats Illustrated, the Kentucky rival sites, joins the show. But let me tell you something. This is the BamaInsider Tailgate Show. I'm Mick Gillispie with Kyle Henderson. And let me tell you that the show's brought to you by Yuengling Lager. Yuengling's a sixth-generation company. Cheryl Yuengling, our friend, went to school here. She's part of the company's ownership, and she's a proud Alabama grad. She puts a little bit of crimson love in each one of those green bottles. Also, you got to try, this time of year, it's perfect, the new Hershey's Chocolate Porter. Oh, it is so good. Hey, we're at Rounders on the Strip in Tuscaloosa. Had a chance to talk to Justin Rowland earlier this week about Kentucky and that matchup with Alabama at 3 o'clock. Today's Game Story segment is brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. Alabama landed Mac Jones after a commitment to Kentucky. That's Alabama's opponent this week. So there really is a big tie between Alabama and Kentucky, a team that the Crimson Tide don't play a lot in college football anymore because obviously they're on the other side of the conference. But it's great to have Justin Rowland on with us from Cats Illustrated. They're the Kentucky rival site as we talk about Alabama and Kentucky. 3 o'clock, big matchup for both of these teams. For Alabama, Justin, that's just they've been off for 2 weeks. And then obviously for Kentucky, a chance to play the Crimson Tide. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, everybody's a little bit excited about this weekend. I think the expectations are tempered around the Kentucky program. But, yeah, everybody gets excited about Alabama, so it'll be a fun week.
You know, the big thing for, the entire world of college football has been COVID. Kentucky was one of the teams that was able to play last week, and that's a big deal. They beat Vanderbilt, but the majority of the conference missed because of COVID, one way or the other. For Alabama, it was LSU that got COVID and postponed the game. What has the Kentucky program, Mike Stoops, done to keep these guys from getting COVID and continuing to play football?
Well, one of the things that they've really stressed with me when I've talked to them on or off the record is they emphasize what would get you dinged for contact tracing. And so safety is obviously important, but they also realize that going into the season, the contact tracing was going to be the thing that could really devastate a team and its preparation ability to get ready for a game. And so they do in and out meals. They're not sitting down together. The position groups are kind of spread out in disparate places at disparate times. And they've been very wary of the rules regarding contact tracing. And, it's probably similar to what other teams are doing, but they've been fortunate.
Well, to us, and look, on Rivals, I mean, we pay close attention to recruiting, and I'm sure in Lexington, it's kind of the opposite in Tuscaloosa. This is a football school here, and you guys are the basketball school. But Mike Stoops has come in and he's made Kentucky a very competitive team. They're a hard-nosed bunch, and one of the players that they had committed ended up coming to Alabama in, kind of a big win for the Crimson Tide, because Tua was in that same class. But here's Mac Jones. And I've heard from a lot of my friends with Kentucky ties. One of my buddies is a former player with the Cats, and they kept saying, hey, Mac Jones, you better be a believer right now. Talk about the recruiting that went into it. I'm sure there was some disappointment when he decided to go to Alabama as the second quarterback in that recruiting class. And kind of how things have gone for Mike Stoops in the recruiting game in Lexington.
Well, they've recruited very well in general. I mean, people that follow it will remember that, for a long time, like the early part of the internet recruiting era, Kentucky would rank in the 50s or 60s nationally in terms of recruiting, always at the bottom of the SEC. A lot of Group of 5 schools would rank ahead of them. But under Stoops, they've had a couple of top 25 classes. They're generally never any lower than the top 35. So this is far and away, it might not seem like it at Alabama, but this is far and away the most talented roster, I guess, for the last few seasons that Kentucky fans can remember. They do get a better caliber of player than they used to. As far as Mac Jones, yeah, I got to know him really well over the course of his recruitment. He kind of promised me a spot in the green room if he eventually makes it to the NFL draft. But yeah, they identified him early. That was when Shannon Dawson was the offensive coordinator at Kentucky. Before Darren Henshaw and the current regime that's been really run heavy. And, he basically told me that if Shannon Dawson had stayed on as Kentucky's offensive coordinator, he probably wouldn't have flipped. It's worked out well for Alabama. I think it's, Kentucky doesn't offer a quarterback the platform and the surrounding cast to elevate you. I mean, you watch him play at Alabama, he's throwing to future NFL players. And at Kentucky, that's probably not so much the case. But everybody, I think, at Kentucky has gotten over any bad feelings, and everybody's kind of happy to see him having this success.
Yeah, I got that feeling when Mike Stoops had his press conference, something that we posted on the BamaInsider.com channel and and on YouTube coming into this game, and I didn't get the feeling that there were hard feelings from Mike Stoops about Mac Jones, other than he thought he was going to be pretty good, and it turns out he was right.
Yeah, I don't know how much Mac has said about this or what he would say about it, but I think there might be a little bit of chip on his shoulder going into this game, because after he decommitted from Kentucky for, I think, a little while down the road, Kentucky's offensive coordinator, social media, it was kind of a cryptic shot at Mac's decision. So, I think he thinks highly of Kentucky. He does have that history, that relationship with the Kentucky fan base. For Kentucky fans, it's kind of like, well, of course this guy would go to Alabama and break, Tua's records and everybody else. But I think he remembers how some of the people at Kentucky reacted to that decommitment and that flip to Bama. And I think that will be on his mind, at least a little bit leading up to the game.
Well, Alabama and Kentucky will play. It'll be the first game for the Crimson Tide in 3 weeks, and because they had 2 bye weeks. Let's talk about this Kentucky team. We don't see them a lot. How would you describe the character of this year's team that's 3-4 coming off a win against Vanderbilt?
Well, we can't talk about this team without talking about what they're going through right now. Their offensive line has powered the program's resurgence in the last few years, 4 wins over the previous 2 seasons before this year. And the offensive line coach, John Schlarman, passed away a couple of weeks ago, about 10 days ago. And that was heavy on their minds this last week. You could tell his absence against Missouri affected the team in probably a negative way a couple of weeks before that. It is an off the field story that's going to dominate the season, but it's an on field story too, because we've seen it have such a tremendous impact on the way guys are coming into games. Sometimes good, sometimes bad. It weighs on them. But yeah, I would say Kentucky fans expected to be a little better than 3-4 right now, and reasonably so. They were 8-5. They returned almost everybody on both sides of the ball, with the big exception, of course, being Lynn Bowden. The killer is they lost to 2 teams they were favored to beat in Ole Miss and Missouri, and both of those teams had first-year coaches, which you would think would be a detriment in a season like this. So if they're 5-2, which they expected, that'd feel very different than 3-4. There's nobody's upset at Mark Stoops. He's got really good job security, maybe the best contract in the country, but they're a little bit stung on how the season's gone.
Yeah, and they have a great defense, and for some reason, I'm going to talk offense with you. Terry Wilson, their quarterback, he's had a good year. It seems like they have more than one running back, but Chris Rodriguez kind of highlights that group, and then Josh Ali seems to be, the Mr. Do-It-All type, just from my perspective, and I haven't watched him as much as you guys.
Yeah, I think you identified the right players. Terry Wilson at quarterback, Chris Rodriguez at running back. Ali's the best receiver. The tight ends are probably the best option in the passing game right now. Justin Rigg and Keaton Upshaw both had touchdown receptions against Vanderbilt. Been a long time complaint of the fan base that they don't use the tight ends enough in the offense, and they're starting to do that. But this is an offense that struggled a lot, especially considering it's got one of the nation's best offensive lines. Very experienced unit. But the offense has been bad, except against Ole Miss, and everybody's great against Ole Miss offensively. But it's been pretty tough to watch. The quarterback play has been mediocre. The big thing is this is the worst receiving unit in the SEC by a pretty good margin. Everybody tells me if you saw the all-22 footage, these guys are just not getting open, and that affects the psyche of the quarterback. That affects the blitz and the pressure packages for the defense, and the receiver play has been so bad that it's really set the offense back.
He's Justin Rowland with Cats Illustrated. That's Kentucky's rival site as you listen to the BamaInsider Tailgate Show. Kyle Henderson and Mick Gillispie here with you. Talking Alabama and Kentucky, I guess the last question that I got to ask about football, how could Kentucky possibly beat Alabama? 31-point underdogs.
Oh, I'm not going to predict it. A few years back, they beat Louisville with Lamar Jackson as a 28-point underdog. Yeah, this would be on a different level. I see ESPN's FPI giving them a 3% chance. And I'm like, it's about 10% higher, 10 times higher than I would have it. They've never beaten them in the state of Alabama. It would take a lot of turnovers. And I guess if you're a Kentucky fan, you say against Mississippi State and Tennessee, we had 9 interceptions over 2 games. But yeah, I don't foresee Mac having that kind of struggle. And this really does, more than any other game I can remember, have the feel of just how close are they going to be able to keep it.
Well, Justin, I said the last football question. That was tricky because I'm going to ask you one more question. We got about a minute left. Tell me about this basketball team for the Cats. What do you expect this year? And how was the recruiting class?
The recruiting's well. They just signed 3 guys in the 21 class, and I think it's currently number 3 in the country. So it's going to be another great Calipari unit. This team, Calipari's teams are long and athletic. This team is really long and really athletic. Transfer to be a first-team All-ACC player this year from Wake Forest. He's going to be their best big man in a while. They just have wings and length and athleticism in spades. The question is, as always, how's the Calipari team going to shoot with all those freshmen? And secondly, how good is the point guard play going to be? They got Devin Askew and then Davian Mintz, a transfer from Creighton. But this team will go as the point guard play goes. Everything looks great, but that is a question mark.
All right, thanks so much. Justin Rowland with Cats Illustrated. That's Kentucky's rival site, Alabama and Kentucky. And we've been talking about it right here on the BamaInsider Tailgate Show.
Introducing Flight by Yuengling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yuengling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yuengling. Now available wherever beer is sold. DG Yuengling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Genesis of Tuscaloosa, Alabama's first Genesis dealer, is a proud sponsor of Crimson Tide football and pleased to announce another first, the all-new 2021 GV80, the newest luxury SUV from Genesis, arriving soon. Be first to call and reserve your spot to experience the new standard of luxury in Tuscaloosa, the all-new 2021 Genesis GV80. See our full luxury lineup at Genesis of Tuscaloosa, the corner of Skyland and Hargrove. GenesisofTuscaloosa.com.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the Bama Insider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. SKREWBALL Peanut Butter Whiskey. SKREWBALL combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. SKREWBALL, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to SKREWBALLWhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of Alabama's largest volume power sports dealers, featuring the brands you love: Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand, starting at just $54.99. The best seats in the outdoors on sale now. Bama Buggies on Skyland Boulevard East, BamaBuggies.com. Price plus tax. Discount off MSRP includes all manufacturer incentives, dealer discounts, and freight while supplies last. See dealer for details. Expires in a month.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Hey fam, this is Kyle Henderson with BamaInsider.com, reminding you to join Mick, Gillispie, and me right after the game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel for the Bama Insider postgame show. We'll break down the game with instant analysis, have Nick Saban's press conference, and take your calls and comments. That's the Bama Insider postgame show right after Alabama plays on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. See you there. Please join us tonight for the Bama Insider postgame show on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Roll Tide, roll.
This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. It's presented by Tuscaloosa Hyundai, the Elantra, the Sinatra, the Sonata, or SUVs like the Tucson. Tailgating doesn't get any better, and you're right now joining us live from Rounders on the Strip, and you need the right vehicle for tailgating. Tuscaloosa Hyundai, right in Tuscaloosa, is the place you need to check out. Andrew Bone is our recruiting expert. We're going to talk to Ryan Griffin from Pearl River Resort. This segment's brought to you by Hotel Indigo. Man, I've been staying there. It is amazing. It's right there on the Black Warrior River. It's got the lookout bar on top if you want a view of Tuscaloosa. Here's Andrew Bone and Kyle Henderson getting you caught up on everything recruiting as far as Alabama's concerned.
Delier just today actually said, he was like, look, don't believe, what polls are out there. Don't buy into everything. He's like, I haven't committed yet. And we've talked about the finalists before. I'm sure people are going to ask about Tamise Delier. I'll lead off asking about Tamise and kind of where you feel things stand kind of going into the home stretch. I know it's going to be a very difficult decision. Maybe the Gators, maybe with a slight edge just from kind of reading between the lines. But as he said today, he hasn't made a decision. What's kind of the latest on Tamise Delier?
Yeah, he also, I think he doesn't like the predictions that, analysts make because, and I sort of agree with them because, you get a guy like Tamise Delier, is a 5-star kid from the state of Texas who's, covered by, the Texas recruiting analysts and national recruiting analysts. Maybe some of the guys who are, covering, Florida and Texas A&M and Alabama, they make their predictions on where he's going to go to school. And then when somebody makes that prediction, then 20 people who don't cover the guy at all is going to throw in their prediction as well to wherever the regional recruiting analysts. So it makes it seem like it's a done deal that these kids are going to this school. They I get it. They want to have their moment and they deserve it. But at the same time, we got to make our predictions. But with Tamise Delier, it's a toss-up. I mean, and I've said this for the last several months, even when he was committed to Ohio State. I felt like he was going to decommit from the Buckeyes, but who was going to be the school that won his recruitment? And I said, when he decommitted, it doesn't matter who leads for him right now. It's going to matter who leads for him, an hour before National Signing Day or whenever he announces that second decision. It's not going to really matter because it's just a up and down roller coaster ride with him because, one school's in the lead one week, another school's in the lead the next week, the other school's, the favorite the following week. So it's an up and down ride. I wouldn't really buy into the hype of, him going to one place or the other. It's a 3-team race. It's Alabama, Texas A&M, and Florida. All three of the schools want him. All three of them are pushing hard for him. And this recruiting battle, like I said, is going to be won, the last few days before he announces that decision. It's not going to be one today. It's going to be one the last few days. So let's just, take a break, enjoy it, watch him make that decision. Now he keeps saying he wants to take some visits. He wants to try to get to some schools. He wants to get to Alabama, wants to get to Florida again before making that final decision. So we'll see if he's able to make those trips. I think he will. And, even though he's not going to be able to, spend time with the coaches, like I said earlier, a lot of these kids want to spend time on campus and just get a feel for everything. And get a feel, do I want to be here? If you don't get that warm and fuzzy feeling when you step on campus, then, you probably, end up going to transfer, a year or two later. So yeah, I think, he just wants to make the best decision for him. I think Alabama, like I said, very much in the picture for him. Somebody asked me the other day, they said, is he still a take for Alabama? Absolutely. This is a guy that Alabama's heavily recruited for a long time. Now they have some big time players that they're going after on the defensive line. Timese Adelier, JT Tuamola, Shamar Turner, all those guys are all in play for Alabama. But as long as they can get one of them, they're going to be very happy.
Here with Andrew Bone of BamaInsider.com. My name is Kyle Henderson. Thank you very much for joining us, talking some Alabama Crimson Tide football recruiting. You don't have to wait until Tuesday to get the scoop. You can go to BamaInsider.com. In fact, we got a great promo going on right now at BamaInsider.com. You sign up for a premium subscription, you get a $75 gift card to the Nike store. And guess what? That sign-up subscription is only $75. The usual price is $99. So you're getting a percentage off your subscription, and you're also getting a $75 gift card to Nike.com. So go to BamaInsider.com. We'll put the link in the description, and we continue talking recruiting with Andrew Bone. We'll take your questions in just a minute. And actually, Matt is asking about my next guy that I was going to ask you on, and that's about Brian Thomas. Today you touched you spoke about Brian Thomas and Xavier Worthy, and if Alabama could potentially take both of those individuals, what's it looking like as we get kind of towards the later part of November regarding Brian Thomas and Xavier Worthy?
As we've kind of discussed over the last several months, Brian Thomas, very tight-lipped kid, doesn't really shed too much light on his recruitment. Nobody really in his inner circle talks too often either. You're not going to see a lot of interviews out there with Brian Thomas, and that's fine. He's keeping things pretty quiet, and that's okay. I definitely think that Alabama, in my opinion, I think Alabama's in the driver's seat for him. I think they've done a great job recruiting him, throughout the entire time. Alabama has a very, very good wide receiver class. Ajay Hall, Ja'Cory Brooks, Christian Leary. They're still looking to add at least one more guy. And, Brian Thomas has been, very high on Alabama's wish list for a very long time. I do think, and I'm sure this is going to be brought up. I think some of the things that are coming out, down at LSU that aren't good. I think that could even help Alabama's chances even more with Brian Thomas. So as of right now, leaning towards Alabama, still leaning towards Alabama with Thomas. I would say number 2 is probably Texas A&M. I don't even think LSU is number 2 right now. I think A&M has jumped over them, even though he hasn't visited there yet. He likes them a lot. They're obviously having a great season, minus the loss to Alabama. But they've done a great job recruiting him as well. So I do think it's Alabama, Texas A&M recruiting battle. With LSU, still in it, but I think they're behind those two schools. Hasn't really said when he's going to make a decision. Now, the original plan was to announce at the Under Armour All-America game. Mm-hmm. That game got canceled last week, so haven't heard anything new. So we're keeping a very close eye on it and see if a commitment comes relatively soon, or if he's going to drag it out even more. But I do think Alabama's in pretty good shape with Brian Thomas right now.
All right. That's a great segment there from our Tuesday recruiting show with Kyle Henderson and Andrew Bone. I'm Mick Gillispie hanging out at Rounders. Great to have Ryan Griffin with us as we, just heard a little recruiting nugget. Ryan, you're with Pearl River Resort. Been great to hang out with you at the Timeout Sportsbook. Welcome to Tuscaloosa.
Man, glad to be here. Thank you for having us.
Well, let's talk about what you guys got going on. I've been handing these things out. That's Kyle Henderson back there, by the way.
Right. Hey, Kyle, how are you, sir?
These are cool. You get $50 in play if you're new and you go by.
Or if you haven't played in the past year.
Really?
So, yeah, 365 days, you'll still give you that $50 in free play. So, yeah, come check it out.
The sports book's a lot of fun. I mean, you got the Tyson fight coming up. I mean, I know we're talking Alabama football in here, and we go through the odds on this show every week. But, that Tyson-Roy Jones fight, Kyle, I mean, you're excited about that.
Yeah, of course. I mean, two greats that I think we all remember coming up. I mean, Mike Tyson, of course, was a fan favorite. I mean, his vicious hook. I still watch those YouTube videos. And then on the other side, you have another boxer who I think is all one of our fan favorites. So I can't wait to see those guys go at it. And I know as Father Time catches up with all of us, but I don't think that anybody wants to get caught by any of those two individuals in the present day, no matter how old they get.
No, Mike Tyson's looked pretty vicious.
Dude, it's going to be a blast. I mean, I've watched some clips of both of them sparring right now, and they both are just incredible athletes, and it's going to be a fun match to watch. There's no doubt about it.
I watched the Deontay Wilder Tyson Fury fight, the first one at Pearl River, and it's like look, I love football too, but if you want to have a great time, go watch a big time boxing match at the sportsbook
with a group. There's nothing better. I mean, I think we were standing, 6 deep in that room. And it's a great room, and it's large, and there's plenty of places to spread out and have, sit. But it was incredible the number of people that were stacked in that room watching that fight. That was such a good fight.
It was. It really was. That one went to a draw. Remember, Deontay knocked him down right at the end. Really could have knocked him out. So what do you got going on over at Pearl River these days?
So, we've got, of course, we're doing everything to help make folks feel safe. We have all the social distancing aspects. We have temperature checks when you walk in the door. Masks are required. Smoking is limited now to outside areas. We've got, believe it or not, we have UV lights in our air conditioning systems, or heating and air. So when you come through, I mean, we are cycling the air through everything. We're trying to make everybody feel safe. If you're a sports book guy or girl and you like golf, right now we still have the promo where you make a $50 bet and you can play Dancing Rabbit Golf Club for $30. And you've seen the course. Yeah, it's an incredible course. One of the best courses in the country. So we've got a lot of good things still going on, still happening. Some live entertainment. New Year's Eve, we're going to have some fireworks. So, we're giving away $50,000 in cash for the weekend for New Year's over a 2-day period. So it's going to be a great time. Trying to make it safe for everybody, but still, have fun and be comfortable and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, you said Dancing Rabbit, and I saw Kyle's ears perk up. He's the golfer of the crew right here.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we need to get you over there,
Yeah,
Kyle.
you need to come over and play the courses. I mean, they are incredible.
Yeah, I mean, anytime I get some golfing during this time, is a good one. I know Nick Saban was also asked a golf question. They were like, you get much golfing? And, it's tough during the football season, but I do sneak out there, and I'm trying to get Trey, who's behind the glass, to come out with me at some point. So, no, that sounds like a great offer.
Yeah, tell him. I mean, this is one of the best courses in this side of the Mississippi.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's consistently ranked at the top courses, public courses in the country, resort courses, casino courses. So it's a great place to come play and have a good time. Andy Ogletree, who was the amateur winner last year and just played in the Masters, I think he finished around 34th. He plays out of Dancing Rabbit. So, it's a great course and a great time just to, come hang out and have a good time.
Look, guys, like we said, every show we do our picks. Lance Taylor comes on. He helps us make those picks. We're going to do it again tonight. You go over to Pearl River, Philadelphia, Mississippi, And the Timeout Sports Lounge, you can go in there, hang out, get a drink, watch all the games. They got them all on the TVs, and you can gamble legally and have a good time. And sometimes you hit the 3-team parlay like I did last year. You take $20, you turn it into $130, and you feel great about life. I've done that a couple times.
Well, I mean, it's just fun when you put a little money on a game, just a little bit. It just makes the game more fun, especially those midnight West Coast games that we're all ready to go to bed, but you got $20 on a game, and this makes it just a lot more fun and enjoyable.
Ryan, great to see you. Hang around.
Thanks, Mick.
All right, that's Ryan Griffin, Pearl River Resort. We're going to take a break. We come back. We're going to talk more from Rounders on the Strip, Alabama and Kentucky, 3 o'clock. Be right back.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Genesis of Tuscaloosa, Alabama's first Genesis dealer, is a proud sponsor of Crimson Tide football and pleased to announce another first, the all-new 2021 GV80, the newest luxury SUV from Genesis, arriving soon. Be first to call and reserve your spot to experience the new standard of luxury in Tuscaloosa, the all-new 2021 Genesis GV80. See our full luxury lineup at Genesis of Tuscaloosa, the corner of Skyland and Hargrove, genesisoftuscaloosa.com.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide. Switching your job is stressful. Switching your schools is painful, but switching your insurance to Allstate, it really couldn't be easier. At Allstate, you call one local agent who can assist you with all your policies and make your paperwork simple. Here in Tuscaloosa and Northport, Allstate agent Andrew Conifer can help you protect everything from your home, car, boat, motorcycle, or even RV, ATV, and snowmobile. Stop by Andrew Conifer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard. Are you in good hands? Prices vary based on how you buy, subject to terms, conditions, and availability.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of Alabama's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand starting at just $54.99. The best seats in the outdoors on sale now. Bama Buggies on Skyland Boulevard East, BamaBuggies.com. Price plus tax. Discount off MSRP includes all manufacturer incentives, dealer discounts, and freight while supplies last. See dealer for details. Expires in a month.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to SKREWBALLWhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. It's brought to you by Bama Buggies. Bama Buggies is a touchdown for anyone looking for an ATV, a Sea-Doo, a motorcycle, or side-by-side. Hunting season is almost here, and Bama Buggies has you covered. Find out for yourself at BamaBuggies.com. He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillispie. We got a chance to catch up with our friend Reagan from R&R Cigars. Check out our interview. Back in on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. I'm Mick Gillispie, Kyle Henderson on board. Always great to talk to Reagan from R&R Cigar. Normally we talk football, and I'm sure we will. I mean, you look great with the Alabama gear on, but over here in Northport, at the brand new store.
Yeah, we're at the R&R Cigars Northport location. Going to be opening a week from today on Black Friday at noon. Really, really excited about this place. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. Well, and if you're going to the games too, it makes it a little bit more convenient from people coming from, this side of town to stop in, get your Victory cigars, maybe get them on the way out. We're right next to the Winn-Dixie in Northport.
Yeah. And, the other great thing too about it was like what we were talking about when we opened or as we were planning to open was also on game days. There's a lot of people that live over here that don't cross the river on game days. So, if you live over in Northport, you live in 35406, you live north of the river, you don't want to come into downtown on game days. This is perfect for you because you just hop on Watermelon and then you get off at the Winn-Dixie and you don't even have to go downtown. And but it's going to be the convenience of it's going to be great.
Yeah, really. It's a lot different than the Cigar Mansion, in downtown.
Yeah, but what we wanted to do is, and that's kind of why we joked around calling it the Annex, is because it's going to feel basically like a room at the mansion.
Yeah.
You're going to have that same type of service, that same type of atmosphere. This place will actually have a full bar with bar stools and TVs. So the bar will actually have on the wall, it'll have 3 TVs on it.
Oh, cool.
So you'll be able to sit and have a drink and watch the game from the bar. But there'll also be like the recliners that we're sitting in. There'll also be the comfy chairs for you to watch.
So comfy.
Yeah, on a 70-inch TV and be able to watch your favorite games. You'll be able to watch Alabama. And then the big thing, you don't have to fight downtown traffic to get here, which is a huge deal on game days because if you come to the mansion, we love it when people come to the mansion. We still want you to come to the mansion on game days. But we know it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. I hate going into town on game days.
Right. How excited are you to have football back? It's been like 3 weeks since Alabama played.
It's been crazy. I had football. I had my Liberty University Flames.
Oh, feeling good about life right now.
Yeah. Top 20.
Where's Hugh Freeze going?
He's staying. He got a contract. He's staying. And we have the Heisman winner, Malik Willis.
So
best quarterback in the country.
5-year deal, right?
2026.
So how come everyone's talking about Hugh Freeze going to South Carolina and Tennessee and Texas and places like that?
The Bible says in Philippians 4:13, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And that includes keeping Hugh Freeze at Liberty University till 2026.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, why would you want to go to South Carolina?
That's not a good job.
No.
South Carolina, you're dealing with Clemson, you're dealing with the SEC.
And then you're going to try to recruit with Georgia and all the cheating they're doing in Georgia. I mean,
you're calling them out, right?
Is it? I mean, like, I don't understand. The NCAA investigates everybody but Georgia, right? I mean, so yeah, I'm calling them out. Yeah, Georgia cheats. Let's admit it. It's time. Georgia cheats.
Yeah.
They cheat. Sorry. I didn't know that was a shock to anybody. You could get Bone on the next segment and have Bone talk about all the cheating they've been doing in recruiting.
Yeah, we cover recruiting.
Yeah.
Has it been weird for you to have like your alumni, head coach, at the rumor of all these places? And remember, Alabama fans, he was maybe before Liberty going to come here as offensive coordinator. And they wouldn't let it.
Well, and they talked about he was going to Florida State as offensive coordinator. There are a bunch of teams that are talking about him going to be the offensive coordinator. I think that, but at the end of the day, I think what's important when you're looking at jobs is the commitment to athletics. And Liberty, there's very few schools that have the athletic budget that Liberty has.
Well, they got NC State on Saturday, but we got to talk about Alabama. Maybe Liberty somehow they keep rolling and they've got some more tough games on the schedule.
Hope they play Alabama in the playoffs.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it? I'm not counting them out yet.
Yeah,
they got to win this one.
Yes,
and then they got
Coastal down the.
They need Coastal to stay undefeated. That'll be a fun game at the end of the year.
But we have a big one in Tuscaloosa Saturday.
He's Reagan from R&R Cigar. I'm Mick Gillispie. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We're at the brand new location here in Northport, and it opens up on Black Friday.
So he wants you to come by. I want you to come by here, get you a victory cigar. It's just going to be the same great place like the mansion, and just be like the annex. You come over here and hang out. All right, well, give me a breakdown of Alabama and Kentucky going into the Iron Bowl. I know, like, it's hard to say that, but I mean, you think they just pick it up 3 weeks off and keep rolling?
I think so.
Are they rusty?
I don't think they're rusty.
Mm-hmm.
I think that this team comes out. They've been ready to play. Like, this team wanted to play LSU.
Oh yeah,
they
still do.
Wanted.
Still
oh yeah,
do.
and they're gonna.
You think so?
Oh, they're gonna. They already rescheduled it. They bumped.
They're talking about it.
Okay,
so it's not official.
Okay,
yet.
but
I hope
think,
they do.
I think they're gonna play.
Yeah.
They wanted to play LSU. They were denied the beatdown and the revenge after LSU talked all the trash after last year's game. And I think that this team wants to play, and this team has a chip on their shoulder like I've never seen an Alabama team have.
Wow.
And I think these guys, because you look at Mac Jones, everybody has doubted Mac Jones since he stepped foot on campus. He got the DUI, and then they brought in all these other quarterbacks to replace him.
Right.
And I think Mac has a huge.
He was a long shot from the beginning. Remember, he was a Kentucky commit.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I think that he's got a chip on his shoulder. I think Najee came back with a chip on his shoulder because people, didn't think he was running back number one.
Draft stock.
Yeah, and I think Smitty, everybody talks about every other wide receiver at Alabama, and then here Devontae Smith is with every record in Alabama's history by the time this season's over.
Yep.
And I think that this is one of the most talented teams that Alabama's ever had offensively. And I think that this team wants to go out every single week and just dominate anybody that they play, especially offensively.
Yeah.
Now, defense, we can talk about the defense being what it is.
I think you said it, man.
But I think on offense, I think this team wants to go score 80 points a week.
Mm-hmm.
And Nick doesn't let them score 80 points a week.
No, he turns them off.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on the new shop. We'll be hanging out over here. And next time we can grab a cold Yingling every time, right?
Hershey Porter.
I want the Hershey Porter.
We have the Hershey Porter on draft now.
I might head to the other place.
Yeah, we're going to go to the other place. We're going to have the Hershey Porter. You're going to have the Hershey Porter. We've got right now. Oh, we got a new mason jar. You're going to have the Hershey Porter and the mason jar.
That's what I'm doing. All right, guys. Swing by and see Reagan, Northport now, next to Winn-Dixie, and over at the mansion. And not a better place to come hang out. Tell them Mick sent you, and you get Angels Envy, bourbon, and a cigar for $10.
Roll Tide.
All right, there it is right there. Talking with Reagan from R&R Cigar. That also puts a bow on the first hour of our show. Bama takes on Kentucky. He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillispie. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Kickoff at 3 o'clock Central Time. Bama beat Mississippi State 41-0 on Halloween. That's how long ago it's been since Alabama played. Kentucky won last week 38-35. Kyle, before we take this break, $75. Tell me about the deal.
Well, right now you can sign up at BamaInsider.com. The usual price for an annual subscription is $100. Today we're selling it for $75, and what that comes with is a $75 gift card to Nike.com. You can get Nike gear, you can get Converse gear. So go to BamaInsider.com, look to the front page for that promo code, and you can get Nike gear, you can get Alabama gear, and with the holiday season now in store, you pair that with Nike gear, you get Andrew Bone's book. I mean, there's some fun stuff to kind of pair together at BamaInsider.com.
All right, that's Kyle Henderson. We're going to talk with Tom Hart. He's the SEC Network play-by-play man for Alabama and Kentucky. That and much more, the second hour of the show, right after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Special special purchase. 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989. First come, first served while they last. Tuscaloosa Hyundai has made a special purchase of new Tucsons starting at $19,989. All with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty, no charge. Over 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989.
It's why you drive home happy.
Exclusively at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hartgrove.
Switching your job is stressful. Switching your schools is painful. But switching your insurance to Allstate, it really couldn't be easier. At Allstate, you call one local agent who can assist you with all your policies and make your paperwork simple. Here in Tuscaloosa and Northport, Allstate agent Andrew Knifer can help you protect everything from your home, car, boat, motorcycle, or even RV, ATV, and snowmobile. Stop by Andrew Knifer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard. Are you in good hands? Prices vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms, conditions, and availabilities.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the BamaInsider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of Alabama's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand starting at just $54.99. The best seats in the outdoors on sale now. Bama Buggies on Skyland Boulevard East, BamaBuggies.com. Price plus tax. Discount off MSRP includes all manufacturer incentives, dealer discounts, and freight while supplies last. See dealer for details. Expires in a month.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to SCREWBALLWhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa. Thanks for joining us for the Bama Insider Tailgate Show, brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. Alabama takes on Kentucky at Bryant-Denny Stadium. That'll be on the SEC Network at 3 o'clock with managing editor Kyle Henderson of Bama Insider. I'm Mick Gillispie. Great to see you, Kyle. We got a chance to catch up with Tom Hart, the voice of the SEC. So it's always fun to talk football with him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you're gonna love this interview. You know, he's the voice. I mean, he's for Alabama and Kentucky, and I thought it was great how you were able to, you know, reach out to Tom and get him to do this interview. And I that's what I love about the Tailgate Show is, you know, all the kind of mixing and matching with the personalities from Chris Lowe to Tom Hart. I mean, you want it, you got it right here on the Bama Insider Tailgate Show.
All right, let's hear it. Breaking down the SECs, brought to you by Sevierville. Yep, that's right, Sevierville. They have 4 different self-guided fall driving tours that take you along the back roads and highlight the historical points of interest and the beautiful fall views, which are out there right now. You can find maps, videos, and more to make your plans at visitsevierville.com/fall. Here's a guy in the SEC network and Tom Hart that knows all about those Sevierville fall tours, a former broadcaster of the Smokies, and now, of course, the SEC voice that'll be covering Alabama and Kentucky. Good to see you, Tom.
Good to see you too. Yeah, just exit 407. You know, if you're coming from Knoxville, hang a right, go down the hill, maybe past the Pancake Pantry on the left, and you're in the heart of it, man. Let's go. Let's go Sevierville. Smoky Bears, Dolly Parton, James Bates. I'm down with the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a great place to go this time of year too, with all the scenery and everything else. We were there for the Tennessee game. Let's talk a bit about this matchup, Alabama and Kentucky. How do you see this game playing out? Does Kentucky have a chance to contend in this game against Alabama?
First of all, I am terrible at predictions. I am the absolute worst. So in terms of whether or not Kentucky can win this game, or can they cover, or can they stay close, I think that a lot of things have to go right for Kentucky. Number one, they have to play a clean game offensively. They're capable of doing that. They don't turn the ball over very much, but they don't turn it over much because they don't take many chances. You know, they are a running team. They run it maybe 62% of the time. And they've got a good stable of running backs. I mean, really good. And then their offensive line is a veteran group. And they've been through some tough times this year. Their offensive line coach, people may be aware, just passed away due to cancer. And he had been out there coaching them basically up until the very end. So they're a motivated group. They don't have much. They're not a very explosive offense, and they don't have much in terms of wide receiver threats. And I think that's the biggest, if you're just to go down a checklist, that's the biggest disparity you'll see on Saturday afternoon, is that one wide receiver core is obviously one of the best in the country and full of NFL dudes. And the other one is still waiting for somebody to prove to be reliable and prove to be a threat. You've got to, against Alabama, and speaking with the Kentucky coaches, and I was just at their practice yesterday, you've got to be a threat with an explosive play. And when they're at their best within the scope of this offense, led by Eddie Grant, who's a longtime coach at Auburn, actually has a winning record as an assistant coach against Alabama. The scope of this offense is based on play action and leaning on the run game, then to open things up downfield. I don't know if that works against Alabama because they're so good on the back end and their corners are so good that even if you take a shot, at best it's a 50-50 ball because those guys are so good. So to answer your question long-windedly, Kentucky has to play a clean game offensively, and they've got to get some mistakes from Alabama. They've got to force some turnovers or be gifted into turnovers to have a short field. They were at their best this season in a 2-game stretch against Mississippi State and Tennessee, where they got pick sixes, they got interceptions, they got fumble recoveries to set them up with a short field, and they're able to have great success. That's tough to get against Alabama, but it's necessary if Kentucky wants to be in this game.
With Kyle Henderson, I'm Mick Gillispie. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Whether you're watching on YouTube, on the Bama Insider YouTube channel, and if you are, give us a thumbs up and subscribe, or if you're listening on Jox 2 in Birmingham and Tuscaloosa, 100.5, we got Tom Hart from the SEC Network. He's on the broadcast when Alabama and Kentucky kick off at 3 o'clock. This game is a big one for Alabama just because they've been off 2 weeks. They had the game against LSU postponed. Still not sure if that one's going to be played yet. They had a bye week. So I know the Crimson Tide are excited about getting back out there. And then Kentucky getting the opportunity to play against Alabama. Have you heard anything about a remake for the LSU-Alabama game? Do you think that one will be made up? And then after that, I want to talk about Florida because it really looks like Alabama and Florida are going to play in the SEC title game. At least right now, they're leading their divisions, and they're going to be tough to stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that the league is running out of real estate. They're running out of runway to get the Bama LSU game in. I think that the league has done an incredible job, first and foremost, with getting as many games in as possible, extending the season. Now we're going to December 19th, where we'll have some regular season games played to try and get as many games in as possible. These games are incredibly valuable, and they're valuable not just to the campuses where the games are played, whether you make $3 million, $4 million, or $5 million off of an SEC home game. In this day and age, especially where the budgets are on each campus, that money is gold right now. It is necessary. We know how football drives the train when it comes to these budgets for all the other sports. But secondarily, or maybe not even secondarily, maybe this is at the forefront. These are important games for the league. When the league doesn't have TV games, they lose the TV revenue. And every game is televised, whether it's CBS or ESPN or SEC Network. And so the league can lose tens of millions of dollars on any given weekend when multiple games are canceled. I think last weekend it was probably close to $50 million that disappeared from the league's coffers. So in terms of everything that the conference does, it is of utmost importance to play these games. And coaches need to realize that. Coaches get in their own mindset and they say, well, shoot, we'd rather, and I'm not saying this is LSU's situation. In fact, I don't think it was at all, but I think there have been some other coaches in the league this year who have said, gosh, we're going to get smoked this weekend. We could manage our rosters such that we won't qualify to have enough players at this specific position or in this certain protocol that, we get out of playing the game. It's a very short-sighted view. First of all, Derek Mason and Vanderbilt have been hit hard, first by opt-outs and then by coronavirus, and he's putting his team out there every weekend. And most weekends they're getting their heads kicked in, but he's doing it the right way and he's taking the high road. Others probably bending it a little bit. So because of all that, because of Alabama's position in the SEC championship game, or so it seems, I don't think there's room to get that game in, which is unfortunate. Unless what could happen, I guess, theoretically, is if the Pac-12 keeps complaining about their runway and their inability to get games in their conference championship game, and eventually the playoff dates move back, then the SEC would have room to move the SEC championship game back. I don't think that's likely, but I think anything's possible. And the key to flexibility, the key to this year is to be flexible, to understand variables are going to come up that may be out of your control. And so if they move the playoff semifinals back, then you could take the SEC championship game and move it back after Christmas. And then you would have room to play that LSU game. And maybe you play it on the 19th, on the day otherwise you'd be playing the SEC championship game. But otherwise, to pick and choose who LSU plays between Alabama and Florida on the week before the championship game really puts the league in a tough spot. Now, as far as I know, they didn't come out with specific rules that said we're going to prioritize makeup games in this order, which, in my opinion, should be divisional first. They didn't do that, so they don't have those rules to lean on, as far as I'm aware. And the other thing you could do is you go back and say, we're going to prioritize matchups based on where you are within the rankings. And so, the top ranked team won't have to play that makeup game. It'll fall to the next ranked team to protect, the number one ranking. Now, I don't think LSU is going to win either one of those games. If they were to play them, they're beat up. They don't have the same mojo they had last year. They don't have a healthy quarterback. They don't have a healthy quarterback room, even after Miles Brennan's injury. And they're just a totally different team. So I don't think they can win either one of those games. I had Florida as my pick in the East to begin the season. I just thought head-to-head with Georgia. Georgia's quarterback questions were too many to overcome. And Dan Mullen is an offensive coach with a guy at quarterback who proved he could do it last year. I didn't expect them to have this much success and Trask to have such a good season offensively, especially with his touchdown passing numbers. But they've been wildly impressive, and they'll be a fitting threat in the SEC championship game to Alabama because they can challenge your quarterbacks and they can put points on the board.
Yeah, definitely be a matchup we've seen before in the past, just different styles for Alabama and for Florida if they both get to Atlanta. And if we get there, with COVID and everything else. Does Texas A&M have a shot to get into the playoff without getting to Atlanta?
They were really hurt, in my opinion, by the Notre Dame win over Clemson, because now Notre Dame has an inside shot at that fourth spot. They have a chance because they have a still winnable games in the back end of their schedule. And, you know, I don't know that you could really hold the Alabama loss against them greatly, even though the numbers got out of whack at the end of the game or throughout that game. I mean, there's a lot of people that Alabama can't hang with. So they're going to need Notre Dame to lose again down the road. And they're going to need to win the public battle of opinion. So Florida will likely have a second loss, right, against Alabama in the SEC championship game. And A&M will say, hold on, we beat Florida head-to-head. But if Florida loses a close game and Trask puts up big numbers and Florida's offense continues to look as they've looked, I mean, the guy's thrown 28 touchdowns through 6 games and only 3 picks. It's going to be hard for A&M to win the public perception battle over Florida, especially if they play Alabama close. So they've got a shot. They got a lot of work to do, and they're hurt by not playing Ole Miss. I mean, they need to get as many games in as possible so they can say to the committee, like, hey, look, we're 9-1, and our only loss is to the number 1 team in the country. I think any other year, that's good enough to get you in.
He's Tom Hart. He's got the call of Alabama and Kentucky on the SEC Network. We'll be watching when the Crimson Tide and the Cats play. Hey, Tom, thanks for taking some time for us.
Mick, great to be with you. It's a great-looking cap, by the way.
No, they can't see this, by the way.
We lost it. Wait, if they can't see us, why did I do makeup and hair?
I don't know. This is they're just going to have like a little still picture of you.
Well, they won't see me on the game Saturday anyway, because I'll be doing it from my basement and won't be on camera, and things are things are different in 2020. So we'll do our best with a home broadcast, and I'm going to miss not being in Tuscaloosa. I'm going to miss not sitting down with the coaches face to face. The Zoom we'll have to do, and we'll do our best to represent what should be a fun matchup in an SEC game.
Yeah, you guys do a great job, and we're looking forward to catching it. Again, that's Tom Hart from the SEC Network. Yeah, great to talk to Tom Hart from the SEC Network. We're at Rounders. Our remote's brought to you by SKREWBALL, the original peanut butter whiskey. And next segment, we're going to have some SKREWBALL in here. Our buddy Scott McFarland's going to join us. Guys, let me tell you about Pearl River Resort and the Timeout Sports Lounge. You heard from Ryan Griffin earlier on the show. It's in Philadelphia, Mississippi. It's a great place to go. You play the odds. Coming up, you can, listen to Leonard's Loser. He's going to tell you his picks. We got LT and Lance's Lock, lanceslock.com. He's going to give you his picks. Then we're going to have our picks. It's going to be a lot of fun. Don't go anywhere. More Bama Insider Tailgate Show coming right up.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
When it comes to protecting all your stuff, wouldn't it be great to have one place that protects it all? Here's some good news. Tuscaloosa and Northport Allstate agent Andrew Conifer is the only insurance agent you need to help keep tabs on protection for all your stuff. Everything from your home, car, boat, to your motorcycle, RV, snowmobile, and even ATV. Stop by Allstate agent Andrew Conifer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard, or give Andrew a call at 205-722-9201. Are you in good hands?
In some places, football is a sport. In Alabama, football is fine art. Now at newlifeart.com, see Daniel A. Moore's new 2021 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar, featuring 13 dynamic images of defining moments from the Saban era. As a special offer to listeners of this show, use coupon code ROLLTIDE for $5 off each calendar. To order yours, call 1-800-735-2787 or visit newlifeart.com today.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Introducing Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer. For those who don't follow trends, but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. Don't just raise a glass, raise the bar. Flight by Yingling. Now available wherever beer is sold. DG Yingling and Son Incorporated. Pottsville, Pennsylvania. Please enjoy responsibly.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Hey fam, this is Kyle Henderson with BamaInsider.com, reminding you to join Mick Gillispie and me right after the game on the Bama Insider YouTube channel for the Bama Insider postgame show. We'll break down the game with instant analysis, have Nick Saban's press conference, and take your calls and comments. That's the Bama Insider postgame show right after Alabama plays on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. See you there. Please join us tonight for the Bama Insider postgame show on the Bama Insider YouTube channel. Roll Tide, roll.
Well, howdy, fans, and welcome to Week 11 of Leonard's Losers. The little smart pill machine went 9-0 last week with 5 cancellations. Let's spit out those pills before they dissolve. Wisconsin versus Northwestern. The winner of this one could lead to a Big Ten title. Both teams are undefeated, and this top 20 matchup should be an entertaining shootout. Both these teams like to run the ball and play good defense. A Badger won't outrun a Wildcat, but it's more aggressive and ferocious. Leonard's loser, Northwestern. Oklahoma State versus Oklahoma. State bragging rights are on the line as the Cowboys come storming to Norman for this Big 12 slobber knocker. This one pits the best conference defense, Oak State, allowing 17.8 points per game, against the Sooners rolling along at 46 points per game. With the Cowpokes coming off a bye week, running back Chubba Hubbard should be rested and have enough bullets to put numerous holes in the Conestoga canvas. Leonard's loser, Oklahoma. Indiana versus Ohio State. It's a battle of number 2 versus number 9 in this nooner in the Columbus Nuthouse. The Buckeyes have won 25 straight in this series and are a 20-point favorite Saturday. No Big Ten Conference champion has ever swept Michigan, Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. The Hoosiers, led by sophomore quarterback Michael Penix, are looking to make the Buckeyes number 4. It's an upside-down year, and the shoe may fit this Cinderella from Bloomington. Leonard's loser in a close one, Ohio State. Kentucky versus Alabama. The Wildcats leave the Bluegrass State for Tuscaloosa, hoping to catch a red effluent napping on Saturday afternoon. The Tide is riding on the number 1 horse in the polls, and it would be unlikely the felines could sneak up on the pachyderms. Leonard's loser, Kentucky. Well, fans, that does it for Week 11. The frost is on the pumpkin, so throw another log on the fire. And remember, if you can't wear a smile, wear a white hat, so we can tell you from the bad guys. Get me out of here, Percy.
I'll tell you what, I love it when George Yardley comes on. He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillispie. This is the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We're live at Rounders on the Strip. We're not doing this right now. We got LT, but this is a Screwball original peanut butter whiskey shot, Kyle. So just hold on. I got to let LT give us an update on his games. He's going to help us Lance's lock. And then when we come back, I got Scott McReynolds with me, Scotty Mac, and we're going to do a screwball shot, and we're going to pick games. But first, LT. Great to have Lance Taylor on his LT from Brockton, Birmingham. He's on the background table. We'll bring him on because of Pearl River Resort, the Timeout Sports Lounge, and our gambling habit. He's our guy, lanceslock.com. He helps us make our picks every week. LT, I'm at Hotel Indigo here in Tuscaloosa, but when everyone's watching, we'll be hanging out at Rounders on the Strip, and it's good to talk to you, my friend.
You too, man. I'm a big fan of Indigo. I love that rooftop. I'm sure they've got some kind of heating system. I've only been there in the summertime and enjoyed cocktails up there and that great view, but would love to be hanging out there all weekend long.
Well, come on down, man. And look, with all the money that we're going to make on your picks this week, we can buy Hotel Indigo.
Yeah, look, man, I like to be transparent. I've always said this, I'm a local guy like you, and I do a show, so I can't hide behind, one of these typical touts that says, man, I was 11-1 every single week. I think you might be good luck for me because we didn't do a show last week, and I had my worst Saturday in the history of Saturdays. If I continued on the trend that I was last Saturday, I'd be living under a bridge.
Well, thanks to your help, I'm 14-4 on the show right now, so I'm as good. I think maybe I'm 16-4. I'm as good as I've ever been. And let's start with Indiana. They're ranked 9th now, as you know, but they're getting 20.5 points against number 3 Ohio State. What do you think about this one?
Such an abbreviated sample size right now with the Big Ten, but I know the product. I know the offense that Ryan Day runs, and I know what Justin Fields can do. And you look at Ryan Day, 19th straight regular season game he's been favored. He's 13-5 in those games. Indiana's lost 26 straight games against top 5 teams. This Indiana team's legit, Mick. I love the way that Michael Penix, he didn't play good week 1 against Penn State. They still found a way to win that game. Stevie Scott's pretty good running back, but I just think Ohio State way too much firepower. I think there's going to be a lot of scoring in this game. There is a reason this number is 20.5. It opened at 21.5. The public is all over the dog here. When you can play power like Ohio State and lay the points, I love to do it. I love the Buckeyes in this spot.
Ohio State. I'm sure they love to hear that. And Columbia. What about Columbus? What about number 10 Wisconsin at number 19 Northwestern? Northwestern's the home team. They're in Chicago, a little bit north of Chicago, and they're getting 7.5.
This one gets a little more tricky because I do believe in this Northwestern defense. They've won 5 of their last 6 games against Wisconsin, which is kind of hard to believe. They're 4-0 in Big Ten play for the first time since 1996. And Pat Fitzgerald is the guy that just covers football games. 17-10, their last 27 out. But I look on the other side, Wisconsin, the only team in the FBS that ranks in the top 10 in both offensive and defensive efficiency. Redshirt freshman quarterback Graham Mertz has been fantastic. They're not turning the football over. They're only giving up 9 points per game. By the way, 16-4 against the number as a road favorite under Paul Chryst. I'm laying the points here. I'm taking Wisconsin.
This is another tough one. Oklahoma State, they're ranked 14th. They're at Oklahoma, who's ranked 18th. And somehow the lower-ranked team, Oklahoma's a 7-point favorite.
Yeah, they always seem to be in Bedlam. And, this is the 115th all-time meeting of the Battle of Bedlam. An interesting little fact that I think you'll get a kick out of. Since 2010, this is the 9th time both of these teams have been ranked. The only teams who have met more since 2010 ranked LSU and Alabama. Oklahoma State, 11-3 straight up their last 14 as an underdog. I don't trust Spencer Rattler yet. I don't really trust Spencer Sanders, but I think Hubbard will have a big game. Tylan Wallace is starting to play. I think Oklahoma State's got the much better defense. I'm catching points here. I'm taking Oklahoma State. I'm not going to be surprised at all if Oklahoma State wins the game outright.
How about that one? All right, what's your lock of the week?
Random game. One of the outside, off-the-radar stories of college football, and there's a good chance that he might get a job, and it could be South Carolina's the Liberty Flames and what Hugh Freeze has been able to do. It's an undefeated team. They've won 10 straight games outright. That's the second longest active streak in the FBS, behind only Notre Dame. They're 14-5-1 against the number since Freeze took over. Now they're playing NC State. NC State is the favorite here. I like NC State, man. I think the Wolfpack is kind of an underrated, really solid ACC club, and as good as Malik Willis is playing, I think it finally comes crashing down for the Flames. I like the Wolfpack here minus the points.
Yeah, I saw that one too, and it kind of stuck out to me. Liberty went to Virginia Tech and won, but they still get no respect. The little Liberty Flames and the Wolfpack have been banged up. Tell us about Lance's lock.
Yeah, Mick, I appreciate that. Year 6, lanceslock.com. Most of these talent services, they're charging thousands of dollars a year. We charge $90 a month. That's it. You get every single play, side, total, college football, the NFL, college basketball starts up next week. You'll get all that for only $90. You'll never talk to anyone. We give you a password. You go on the website. You get all the plays. We're going to win for you. Again, I try to be transparent. 3 straight winning weeks in the NFL. We were 4-1 in the NFL last weekend. Again, we had a really, really bad Saturday. So I fully expect us to bounce back this Saturday. I love the card. It's kind of an abbreviated card, but some really good plays out there. Jump on board. Try us out for a month. See what you say. See what you like. And we give you a free play every single day, too. lanceslock.com.
And that's Lance Taylor from Jox in Birmingham. Comes on each time we do the tailgate show. Appreciate it, Lance.
Mick, enjoy Indigo, enjoy Rounders, and enjoy Tuscaloosa this weekend, man. Talk soon.
I do it again. All right, that's Lance Taylor from Birmingham and Jox Radio, and a lot of you are listening to us on Jox 2 right now. We're hanging out at Rounders, brought to you by SKREWBALL Original Peanut Butter Whiskey. Kyle's back at the studio. I got Scott McReynolds with me. We just call him Scotty Mac. It's time to pick the games, but guys, before we do that, Kyle, I hate to do this to you again, but we've all got a shot of SKREWBALL. Everybody over here, look at all of our friends here, guys. Social distance right down the hatch, all right? Yeah, roll tide to everybody.
Roll tide.
Straight. Whew. What do you think, man? Yeah. Peanut buttery. Yeah. All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Enjoy those shot glasses. They're yours. That's the way that we do it here, man.
It is. Just, try to get the crowd involved, try to have a little fun, and every now and then take some shots.
What do you think about that, Kyle?
I love it. I mean, I didn't expect anything less. I mean, I think one thing that I've known from rolling with Mick is that the peanut butter whiskey is always flowing, and I'm glad to be introduced to it as well, I have to say.
That and Yuengling. I can't wait to put one of those in the Yuengling Hershey's Porter. I heard that would be a good combo. Just an FYI, maybe for a future episode of the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. All right, guys. Let's bring Trey on. Trey, you got to jump on the screen here and tell us what the standings are right now.
Let's see. We got the mic unmuted now. What's up, guys? What's up, Bama Insider Nation? These picks, we've taken 2 weeks off now, taken some time to reset, think about it, because we got some deficits to make up. I'll start at the bottom here. I'm in last place, in third place at 8-10. Kyle is about 500 at 12-6, catching up. Mick is still at 14-4, the leader on the season. There might be, maybe a little bit of cheating or something. I don't know, but Mick's doing really well. We're going to catch up this week, though. We got some good games.
And no cheating at all, man. Just great picking. So Scotty Mac's going to help me out here, guys. Let's start with Indiana at Ohio State. This is a Big Ten game. Indiana may be one of the big surprises right now, number 9 in the country. 20.5 points they're getting at Ohio State with no crowd. Scotty Mac, get us started.
Still cannot believe that line is as high as it is. I actually think Indiana's a decent-looking football team, trying to be the shocker out of their conference. And, do I think they can go in and beat Ohio State? No, but they're going to cover 20.5. It's no crowd, there's no advantage of playing at home versus away right now.
Yeah.
And it's, neutral site for basically every team right now. With no crowd there, Indiana will cover the 20.5, but I don't think they'll win, but they'll cover that spread easily.
Look, if I get this wrong, he's going to text me tomorrow and remind me. But, I mean, Justin Fields is on Ohio State. I don't know if you saw this guy's numbers yet. He's like 73 of 83 or something. I mean, it's incredible, right? I'm going to go with Ohio State. This is their one chance to play against a good team because it's not Michigan. They really have to have this game. They need to cover the spread. I think they're going to do it. What about you, Kyle?
When I look at this game, I look at the first 3 for Ohio State. Who have they beaten? They beat Rutgers, Nebraska, Penn State. What does that tell us? That really doesn't tell us much. I think Indiana, they're the team that is kind of on the rise in that division, and I think kind of early on in the season, I think it's a large spread. I think I'll go with Indiana as well. I think it should be a tight game. Hopefully, we'll be able to watch it tomorrow in the morning time, but I'll take Indiana.
Kyle, you talked about who Ohio State played. Indiana's also played absolutely nobody, but that's the Big Ten this year. I mean, that's how it goes. I'm with you. This is a motivated team. The head coach's son had a career-ending injury last week. I think they're behind him. This team has never even sniffed the success that they've already gotten this year. And this win essentially, puts them in a playoff spot. So this is there's a lot on the line for this Indiana team. I don't know if they win this game, but all things considered, I think they make it closer than 3 touchdowns. That's just too much.
Yeah, this is part of the show where I'd have one of those Andrew Conifer Allstate footballs, but I gave them all away tonight, right? And that's because we've got all the swag here at Rounders on the Strip. But I'm going to tell you something else is Wisconsin. As many of those Andrew Conifer footballs as I had was as many touchdowns as they were scoring against Michigan last time around. They're number 10 in the country. They're taking on number 19 Northwestern. Northwestern at home, 7.5 points they're getting as a home dog. Trey, you started off.
Yeah, this is another good one. We're sticking in the Big Ten this week. I like it. Lance said it just a second ago. Northwestern has won 4 out of the last 5 against this Wisconsin team. They've been playing well so far. They got beat a good Iowa team just a couple weeks ago. I see the upset here. I don't know what it is. Northwestern figures out a way to do it at home a lot. Wisconsin has looked good, but they've missed some time now. And, coming back, it could be difficult to adjust. Give me Northwestern in this one. What do you got, Kyle?
I think when I look at this game as well, I mean, Wisconsin is always one of those teams that it's fun to watch because from the defensive perspective. I mean, they play, kind of that old school defensive mentality. Northwestern is always one of those CP teams that makes games like this interesting. I mean, I like Wisconsin, but I mean, that's just a little bit too many points for me. So I think I'm with you. I'm kind of jumping in the same boat, which seems dangerous because of your rankings.
I know. But this is a chance to get back, though.
I'll take Northwestern. Back to you guys. What do you guys think, Mick? Go ahead.
We're just out here strategizing as you guys give your picks. Look, I'm going to tell you right now, Wisconsin's going to go into Northwestern, Scotty Mack, and they're going to cut right through them like a hot knife through butter. I mean, have you seen those guys? They're angry, they're mean, and they're just like always just kind of thick, I'm going with Wisconsin. I don't believe in Northwestern. I know they got, Fitz, the coach. No, I think Wisconsin's going to beat them by 2 touchdowns. How about you?
I agree with you. They've only played 2 games. Northwestern's gotten 4 games under their belt, but still, the way that Wisconsin has looked in their 2 games that they've played, I think they come running out of the tunnel to take the field to start the game, and I don't think they stop. I think they easily cover that 7.5, and Northwestern's not a terrible team, but I think Wisconsin's just going to show them we're much bigger and better than you are, and it's going to show that on the scoreboard at the end of the game.
Our odds segment is brought to you by Pearl River Resort in Choctaw, Philadelphia, Mississippi, and the Timeout Sports Lounge. 2 games down, 2 more to go. Oklahoma State, Oklahoma, they call it Bedlam. Oklahoma is the lower-ranked team. Oklahoma State with the mullet, the coach, they call him the mullet, right?
Yeah.
They're 14th. Oklahoma's 18th, but they're giving up 7 points. This game's normally closer than 7, right? Let's start with Kyle.
I mean, first things first. I mean, I'm so glad that the Big 12 is out of playoff contention. I mean, it just makes me so happy because I've seen this year and year again. I've never believed in these Big 12 teams. So I'm just happy that they're out of the way. I think when you look at this game, I mean, it's a rivalry game. I mean, I think 7 points is a lot. Oklahoma, though, I do believe in Spencer Rattler. He's a very talented quarterback. I think he's kind of that next man up. I guess I need points here, so I'm going to take Oklahoma. I don't feel confident about it. I never bet against people with mullets. It's tough for me to do, but I'll take Oklahoma. Kicking it to you, Trey.
Yeah, I like that. Don't bet against the mullet. I'm with you here, Kyle. I'm going to have to go against the mullet myself. This is always a great game. This is 115 for this series. But Oklahoma State hasn't proved it this year. Both teams have not played anybody. One school has lost to 2 of them. Oklahoma State's only lost to Texas. But Oklahoma State really hasn't shown that they are top 10, top 15 material. Oklahoma has. They have the offense to do it. Their defense has looked terrible at times. They have not been able to finish games. But I think in this one, they got some momentum behind them. Their offense has looked like one of the best in the country. Give me Oklahoma -7, -7, maybe even -10, -14. I think they're going to roll in this one.
Kyle, you got me cracking up in here. You've tried to convince me to cut my hair into a mullet. And, I'm trying to explain to Scotty Mack. He's like, wait a second. You never bet against someone with a mullet? I guess after Billy Ray Cyrus, hit gold back in the 90s, you would say a mullet's a winner, right?
It's a winner.
Yeah, and so I mean that's why I'm gonna follow Kyle's lead here, man. I'm going with the guy with the mullet, right?
Yeah.
Never bet against the guy with the mullet, and you get 7 points on top of it. Alabama's playing Kentucky this weekend, right? There's something called a Kentucky top hat. No, I'm sorry. It's a Tennessee top hat. It's a Kentucky waterfall. That's like real trim on the side and then curly in the back. So mullets are in style this weekend here in Tuscaloosa. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with y'all. I'm gonna go with the mullet here. We're gonna stick with the mullet game. I think. I don't think Oklahoma is that good. They do have a little momentum going. I think the mullet's gonna go in there and pull a nice little upset, like you said, and we're getting 7 points. I'm gonna go with the mullet. Oklahoma State with the upset.
Feels like a good deal to me.
It
all right,
does.
guys. Kyle, you started all this, man. It's like a run on mullets. All right, look. Lock of the week. Trey, Kyle, and then we're coming back in here.
Yeah, this is a good weekend in college football. There's some games, that maybe just a few cancellations this week. Not some great games at the top, but throughout, this is a really good weekend. I got 2 games I want to highlight real quick, and I'm speaking into the living room of the real college football fan right now. Coastal Carolina, App State. Coastal's a 5-point favorite. This team is, top 15 in the country still. They're rolling. This is a really, really good program, and they're motivated. I think they win that game by 15, 20 plus. App State's look bad. Another game at that level, it's Cincinnati and Central Florida. This is probably Cincinnati's best test of the year. I believe it's 7. Yeah, 7. Got it pulled up here. Or 6.5, excuse me. Cincinnati. I think they blow them out in this one too. I think the top dogs of the group of 5 run away with it in those 2. So 2 locks of the week. There's a bonus for you. Kyle, what do you got?
All right. I was actually going to go with 2 locks as well. I know we're probably pressed against time, but you got to look at Clemson and Florida State. I think Clemson's favored by 29 points. And, I think Clemson with Trevor Lawrence being back, I think they're going to go for style points in that one. And everybody's been watching Florida State struggle week after week. And then also, you know me, I always take Bama in these large games. And 31 points, it's a lot of points, but I know Kentucky runs the football. Alabama's built to stop the run year in, year out. I think they're also going for style points. Watch for a lot of Mac Jones. And I think we see the first touchdown pass. You heard it here first from Bryce Young.
Nugget of the week?
Maybe. Let's go.
Oh, nugget of the week coming out. Only one, guys. Only one lock of the week. All right, what do you think, Scotty Mac? Give us one lock of the week.
I'm going to go, my lock is going to be Cincinnati taking down those self-proclaimed national champions of a couple years ago, whatever they call themselves down there at Central Florida. They're going to get Cincinnati to come into the house, and Cincinnati's going to show them what a real football team is this week, and Cincinnati's going to blow them out the door. It won't be close from the get-go. I don't think Central Florida has a single chance in this game.
Yeah, I agree with you, but my lock of the week is Liberty against NC State, guys. Liberty against NC State, right? Liberty's in the top 25. They beat Virginia Tech, right? They're getting 4 points against NC State. Who is NC State beaten this year? Their quarterback got hurt, right? They lost to North Carolina. I'm taking them. I'm taking NC State. I'm giving up to 4. Hugh Freeze has been reading all these. His agent's telling him every day that there's a job offer on the table. You think that's got him motivated to win this football game? I love the way that Liberty's playing, and I hate to go against Reagan, but you know what? It's going to be all Wolfpack on Saturday. The fairy tale ends. All right, guys. It's always fun to hang out with you, Scotty Mac, here at Rounders. Man, it's been years we've been together, man.
Absolutely. It's been a good time, and, even with all these COVID restrictions and all this COVID crap that we've been going through all year long, glad we got to make the show happen this year. And, hopefully I'm glad us and Innisfree could both, do it as a joint party. We're good buddies with everybody down there at Innisfree. They're all good buddies with us.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that both of us got to jump on board and help out this year. Obviously, y'all will be down there next week for the Iron Bowl. So we're glad we got to do a few games here, and can't wait till next year where hopefully the world's back to normal and we can do more and more games down here next year.
Yeah, well, this is places I love. And you guys are great. Tell Grant I said thanks. And
Absolutely.
It feels like home when I'm sitting right here.
Absolutely,
in this
yeah.
spot. We've done so many shows here, man.
Even with this long break these kids are getting, it's not quite game day traffic on a Friday night out there, but there's still a good amount of traffic.
It feels that way.
It still feels like there's a football game playing this weekend.
Scott McReynolds at Rounders. We take a break. We're coming back. We're going to talk Alabama and Kentucky. That's powered by Bama Buggies. The BamaInsider Tailgate Show returns after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Special purchase 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989. First come, first serve while they last. Tuscaloosa Hyundai has made a special purchase of new Tucsons starting at $19,989. All with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty, no charge. Over 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989.
It's why you drive home happy.
Exclusively at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hartgrove.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the BamaInsider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
Switching your job is stressful. Switching your schools is painful. But switching your insurance to Allstate, it really couldn't be easier. At Allstate, you call one local agent who can assist you with all your policies and make your paperwork simple. Here in Tuscaloosa and Northport, Allstate agent Andrew Conifer can help you protect everything from your home, car, boat, motorcycle, or even RV, ATV, and snowmobile. Stop by Andrew Conifer's office today at 4705 McFarland Boulevard. Are you in good hands? Prices vary based on how you buy. Subject to terms, conditions, and availabilities.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of Alabama's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand starting at just $54.99. The best seats in the outdoors on sale now. Bama Buggies on Skyland Boulevard East, BamaBuggies.com. Price plus tax. Discount off MSRP includes all manufacturer incentives, dealer discounts, and freight while supplies last. See dealer for details. Expires in a month.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Do you consider yourself a black sheep, misfit, or screwball? If so, we've got the perfect drink for you. Screwball Peanut Butter Whiskey. Screwball combines two of America's favorite, peanut butter and whiskey. Enjoy it neat, on the rocks, or in your favorite cocktail. Screwball, the original most awarded peanut butter whiskey, is now available near you. Go to ScrewballWhiskey.com for more information. Enjoy responsibly.
Advertisement by Screwball Spirits LLC, San Diego, California. Whiskey with natural flavors, 35% alcohol by volume.
It's time to get back to the great outdoors, to making memories, to feeling like yourself again. The world may have slowed down, but here in Sevierville, Tennessee, we know that just means there's more time to enjoy it all. It's time to get back to the Smoky Mountains. And when getting there brings you back, you know you're in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here. Learn more about traveling safely at visitsevierville.com.
BamaInsider Tailgate Show is brought to you by Bama Buggies. Bama Buggies is a touchdown for anyone looking for an ATV, a Sea-Doo, motorcycle, or side-by-side. Hunting season is here. Bama Buggies has you covered. Find out for yourself at BamaBuggies.com. Number 2, Alabama against Kentucky. Today's Alabama and Kentucky segment is powered by Bama Buggies. Kyle, let's get right into it.
Yeah, I think when you look at this game overall, I think the message is clear. Alabama is laser focused on one thing, and that's week by week to get better and better. Nick Saban does a fantastic job keeping these guys laser focused. Everybody knows the prize that's at stake, and that's a national championship game. Alabama wants that. That's their ultimate goal, and it starts with this Kentucky team. And I know Auburn's in the back of everybody's mind fan-wise, but from what Nick Saban's able to do, is fantastic with keeping these players locked in, and I think they come out. And just like Reagan was saying, they're not out of rhythm. This team is hungry to get onto the football field, and I think they lay it on Kentucky big in this one. And I know I said 31 points is a lot of points in the SEC, but Alabama coming in, this is a big mismatch.
Yeah, and it means 31 points, but the other part of this is that they got to stay healthy because next week's game is going to be talked about in this state forever. I mean, you name a year, and I'll tell you what happened in the Iron Bowl.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think you bring up a great point. I mean, Alabama certainly is extremely healthy. I mean, besides losing Trey Sanders and Jalen Waddle, two integral parts to the offense. I mean, this team is very, very healthy at this point in the season, which is very important. As you know, the season is a grind, and it's going to be continue to be a grind with Auburn on the back end, Arkansas, and then going into the SEC championship game. But where Alabama is right now, extremely healthy, which I think is in large part to the, strength and conditioning staff. Jeff Allen, Dr. Matt Ray, David Ballou, those guys have done a fantastic job keeping this team healthy going into this game against Kentucky. And just like you said, it's important to stay healthy. And of course, it's hard not to look into that Auburn game, but we have to stay focused at the task at hand, which is Kentucky.
Yeah, no doubt about it. 3 o'clock, Alabama plays Kentucky. Hey, show's brought to you in part by Hotel Indigo. Next visit to Tuscaloosa. Make your stay memorable. They've got the Lookout, which is the bar on the roof. It's right there on the Black Warrior River. It's awesome, man. You can see Northport. You can see Tuscaloosa. You're a mile from campus. When we come back, we're going to give our score predictions, although one of us already did. Alabama and Kentucky at 3 o'clock. You're listening to the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. We'll return for one more after this.
This isn't just a beer. It's a lager. A medium-bodied, amber-colored, one-of-a-kind beer. Made from those bold enough to brew it, for those bold enough to drink it. Elevate your taste. Yingling Traditional Lager. Spread your wings.
Special purchase 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989. First come, first served while they last. Tuscaloosa Hyundai has made a special purchase of new Tucsons starting at $19,989. All with our exclusive 1,000,000-mile warranty, no charge. Over 70 Tucsons in Tuscaloosa starting at $19,989.
It's why you drive home happy.
Exclusively at Tuscaloosa Hyundai, corner of Skyland and Hartgrove.
R&R Cigars invites you to come down to the Cigar Mansion. Located in the historic Maxwell Mansion downtown, over 1,000 cigars and over 100 bourbons await you. The Cigar Mansion is your home for all sports. Outsource your man cave to R&R. Get a cigar, bourbon, and then watch the tide roll. Tell them the BamaInsider Tailgate Show sent you, and you'll get a cigar and an Angel's Envy bourbon for $10. You can't find a better place to relax and watch the game than the Cigar Mansion R&R Cigars. R&R Cigars, 2703 6th Street, downtown Tuscaloosa, by the Home 2 Suites.
The city of Tuscaloosa offers you the combination of great adventures and great overnight accommodations. From exciting sports to unbelievable history, you'll find it all in Tuscaloosa. Here for you, here for your whole family. Go hiking or mountain biking, try paddleboarding or kayaking, witness our civil rights trail or an ancient Native American city. Eat our barbecue or hamburgers, enjoy our nightlife or music scene. And when you plan your Tuscaloosa getaway, plan to stay a while. Head to visittuscaloosa.com for your free visitor's guide.
Bama Buggies, proud to support the Crimson Tide, always a superstar lineup. And what a lineup at Bama Buggies, one of Alabama's largest volume power sports dealers featuring the brands you love. Polaris, Sea-Doo, Slingshot, $54.99. All the fun you can stand starting at just $54.99. The best seats in the outdoors on sale now. Bama Buggies on Skyland Boulevard East, BamaBuggies.com. Price plus tax. Discount off MSRP includes all manufacturer incentives, dealer discounts, and freight while supplies last. See dealer for details. Expires in a month.
Get in on the action at Pearl River Resort. New members get $50 of free play on us. Or if you haven't played with us since 2018, we're inviting you to come back and play. $50 on us. See Players Club for details.
Where's our sports fans? Place your bets now at the Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. From the first pitch to the final down, the toss-up to the knockout, and everything in between, we'll keep you in action all season long. Play, win, repeat. Only at Silver Star and Golden Moon Casino's Pearl River Resort properties.
Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
It's time to get back to the great outdoors, to making memories, to feeling like yourself again. The world may have slowed down, but here in Sevierville, Tennessee, we know that just means there's more time to enjoy it all. It's time to get back to the Smoky Mountains. And when getting there brings you back, you know you're in Sevierville, Tennessee. Your Smokies start here. Learn more about traveling safely at visitsevierville.com.
BamaInsider Tailgate Show live from Rounders on the Strip, brought to you by Yuengling Lager, America's oldest brewery. He's Kyle Henderson. I'm Mick Gillispie. Let me tell you guys something. This show is presented, and segment 8, that's where we talk about our score prediction, is driven by Tuscaloosa Hyundai. You're talking about the Elantra, the Sonata, SUV like the Tucson. Tailgating doesn't get any better. And when you tailgate, you want a good ride, go by and see my man Barry. Barry, we call him sea bass. He's got all these fish that he raises. I mean, like, I love following him on Facebook because every day it's like a mountain and fish. Barry Buckner's an awesome dude, and he's the guy that runs things over at Tuscaloosa Hyundai. And next time you need a vehicle, go by there and tell him that Mick sent you. All right, Kyle, let's talk about this matchup, Alabama and Kentucky. Final thoughts.
Well, I think, as we've said, throughout the show, I think it comes down to the fact that Kentucky likes to run the football and Alabama is built to stop teams that run the football. So I think don't be surprised if this Alabama team doesn't even allow another touchdown. I think the defense is going to play inspired. I think that this defense sends a message that, they've improved since week 1. I think Pete Golding has this defense where they need to be. I know he's kind of a hot name because people are so critical of the defense because people here in Tuscaloosa expect perfection when they watch the Alabama defense. I don't know if they're going to be perfect, but I know that the defense is going to continue to trend upward. And I think that when you kind of look at a score prediction, I wouldn't be surprised if it's something similar to Mississippi State. The line is 31. I think when we kind of look at this game overall, the offense is going to stay hot. The defense is going to come out and play inspired. I think that kind of translates to a 42-0 victory for me. I know that's big. I know you're calling up a double goose egg, back to back, but that's kind of what the game is trending like, at least in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that would be something right there. I mean, that's Kentucky. This isn't a terrible Kentucky team. They really should be 5-2. I mean, they let one get away against Missouri, and they missed an extra point in overtime against Ole Miss. I think they're a good team. I think Alabama's been off. They might be a little bit rusty. They're going to win the game, but I don't know that they cover the spread. I like Mike Stoops. I think he's a great head coach. I think Alabama's going to be about 24 points better. But I'm looking for Kentucky to come out and be able to do some things, probably not score a lot, but I think they're going to give Alabama some trouble. This is a really good defense and a really good pass defense. So we'll see what happens on Saturday. Alabama's going to win the football game and get ready for the Iron Bowl. Kyle, what do you got on tap the rest of the week? And I know the post-game show, as soon as the football game ends, you need to get on YouTube, the Bama Insider channel, and Kyle will take you the rest of the way.
Well, I think tomorrow, you wake up and you got a double dose of Mick Gillispie and myself. We're going to be talking SEC football. I'll have my before the game call-in show where you guys can call in and we can talk about, kind of some items going into this game. And I definitely want your score predictions. And then we got the watch party with Trey Yannity and myself. We'll be, hanging out here at the Bama Insider studio, and we'll be having our Jimmy Johns, and we'll be watching Alabama take it to Kentucky. And then after, is the after party, which I call the post-game call-in show. So right after the game, open up YouTube, go to Bama Insider, and you can watch the post-game call-in show. I'll take your calls. We'll provide some instant analysis, and we'll also have Nick Saban's press conference following Kentucky. So tons of coverage coming your way right here on Bama Insider. Remember, hit the thumbs up button if you're watching on YouTube, and we appreciate everybody out there listening to our show or our podcast, but definitely go to YouTube, Bama Insider. That's where you can find our content, as well as BamaInsider.com.
Yeah, well said, Kyle. And it was a lot of fun doing the show tonight, the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. Your source for Alabama recruiting and everything else is Bama Insider. And remember, $75, you get a membership to BamaInsider.com. You get $75 to the Nike store. You get Alabama gear and a bunch of other stuff. It's Kyle at Bama Insider for more information. This is something that you want to be a part of. Hey, first off, thanks to everyone at Rounders. Scott McReynolds, we've been doing this show here for a long time, and it's just awesome to be back. This is our final show here. Next week, we're going to be at Innisfree for the Iron Bowl show. That'll be 6 to 8 at Innisfree next Friday night, unless something changes, and let's, fingers crossed, hope that it doesn't. It was really great to see Ryan Griffin from Pearl River Resort. Scott for jumping on the show with us. Thanks to Tom Hart and everyone else that was a part of the show. Our sponsors, Yingling Lager, America's oldest brewery, Pearl River Resort, the Timeout Sports Lounge, Rounders, Tuscaloosa Hyundai, R&R Cigar, the new location. Don't forget the new location over in Northport, right there next to Winn-Dixie. Tuscaloosa Tourism, our friend Don Staley, the former soccer coach, runs things over there. He does a great job. Tuscaloosa Tourism and Sports, Bama Buggies, Allstate agent Andrew Conifer. I'm going to have to go by and get some footballs from him because they took them all tonight. Innisfree, SKREWBALL, the original peanut butter whiskey, and our remote sponsor for this show tonight, Sevierville, Tennessee. Think about going up there for Christmas. Now's a great time to visit Sevierville. Hotel Indigo and the Floribama. We're going to be at the Floribama when Alabama plays LSU and Arkansas or the SEC championship game. So we got some dates lined up for the line. He's Kyle Henderson, and for Trey Annity, I'm Mick Gillispie. Alabama and Kentucky at 3 o'clock. Roll Tide, everybody.
The Floribama Beach Bar is open at full capacity with no COVID restrictions. It's time to slip on back to Orange Beach for multiple stages of live music daily, free bingo Monday through Friday, and football watching all season long on tons of TVs. There's never been a better time to enjoy sunsets from the beachfront bars with a famous bushwhacker. Floribama is one of the top beach bars in the world, and under Florida guidelines has no COVID restrictions. Planning on a bachelor or bachelorette party? Then come do it on the line. Find out more at floribama.com. Experience the true spirit of Tuscaloosa at Hotel Indigo, downtown's first waterfront hotel overlooking the Black Warrior River. Hotel Indigo is perfectly located near a myriad of unique shops, restaurants, and the Tuscaloosa Amphitheater. You rolling with the tide? Hotel Indigo is less than a mile from the University of Alabama. The Lookout Bar on the roof of Hotel Indigo is the best place in Tuscaloosa to enjoy great views, appetizers, and spirits with friends. Book Hotel Indigo now and enjoy the best of Tuscaloosa.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Thank you very much for watching our show tonight with Mick Gillispie. That's the Bama Insider Tailgate Show. And actually kind of the thought process about the Tailgate Show, it's been around for a while, and I wanted to bring it to Bama Insider just as another added element to all of our shows. And I know, every single show, if you look at kind of our content schedule, is different. Starting out Monday with the Monday Night Quarterback. Tuesday, we talk recruiting. Wednesday, I take your calls. Thursday, we're trying to mix and match. And actually, next Thursday, we're going to have something special for you. We're going to have Andrew Bone and Mick Gillispie, and they're going to talk from high school to college to the pros with Andrew Bone. I think it'll be a pretty cool concept. And then Friday, you have the Tailgate Show. And then, of course, Saturday is Slam. So we really appreciate you guys. And I know, you don't have to sit here through the entire show, but if you're looking for content before the game on Saturday, you can catch it on Jox. You can also listen to it on podcast. So wherever you get your podcast, just bust it out. And BamaInsider.com is the place to go. And we really appreciate you guys subscribing, hitting the thumbs up, and we appreciate you guys' feedback as well. Don't think that we don't read through the comments. I'm really diligent about making sure that customer service is the number one priority, because you guys matter to us. You guys are the reason we've been able to grow our channel. Now over 40,000 subscribers right here on YouTube, which is pretty amazing. So we sincerely appreciate it. My email is Kyle at BamaInsider.com. I'll put it on the screen. So we appreciate all the suggestions, all the comments. And if you ever have a question for me about becoming a premium subscriber on BamaInsider.com, just hit me up, Kyle at BamaInsider.com. I hope you have a blessed rest of your evening, and I hope you have a wonderful college football Saturday. And I hope you have a fantastic Sunday with your friends and family. It's always that time, of year where we get to, be together with our loved ones around Thanksgiving. And, we all have a lot to be thankful for, even as a year as topsy-turvy as 2020. So signing off from beautiful Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Thank you very much for watching tonight's Bama Insider Tailgate Show with Mick Gillispie. We appreciate it, and we'll catch you soon right here on BamaInsider.com.